Okay, well, I finally got some time here. I've had a lot of bad luck lately. My old laptop got spilled on. I had it for like 8 or 9 years, and then my girlfriend used it once and spills pop all over it. Has all of my songs that I used to DJ, and they weren't backed up. So I've spent like 2 days downloading music for as long as I possibly could. So it's just ridiculous. Um, but I just have to mention this because just weird stuff has just been happening again. Um, and I, so whatever. On my way to work today, it's probably the first time in like 2 months that I was actually going to be to work on time. And I went, there's two ways that I go that you can go. And there was road construction out on this road, like out in the middle of nowhere. And I sat there for 10 minutes and the pilot car never came, never came, never came. I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to turn around, go back to the other town, and take the other highway to get to my job. And I was speeding, of course, and then, of course, there's never a cop ever on these two highways. And there's a cop on the highway. I get pulled over he clocked me at 79, but he dropped it down to 69, a number that I have recently talked about a lot dealing with Kanye West and the number 139, and also the date of 9/13, because that's also 13-9. And the word 69 in gematria is 139. Then, blah, blah, blah. I talked about it in probably the last, 5 videos that I made. This was a big part of it. That's why it was so interesting to me. But when I got the speeding ticket, I noticed that the price, or whatever, the fine, is $168. Now that is the strangest thing ever, considering that number goes with everything I've been talking about in the last 5 videos as well. That Queen Elizabeth II is 168, Taylor Swift, Beyonce Knowles. I mean, the list goes on. So interesting, my speeding ticket would be $168. And then he drops it down to 69. Now, the road that I normally take to work, I go to Erling, Iowa, and then I take M16. It's just some little county highway or whatever. And that's the one that had road construction on it, and that was the reason I had to drive back to Highway 37. And M16 in gematria is 109 and 37. Interesting, because today's date is 9/10, or they also write it as 10/9, kind of like 109. And I went back to Highway 37. I mean, that's pretty strange. So who knows? Anyway, I just had serious deja vu. Like, I had a deja vu 20 times a day. I don't even care if people believe me. That's why I'm just documenting it. It's ridiculous. It was like every time I thought of something, it happened. And of course today, 9/10, Gregorian to Julian is also the same as 9/23, that the big day that we keep seeing in everything. So I thought that was weird. But anyway, I got my ticket, and I drove on, and I got to the town, and the first gas station that I see, as I drive by, I look up, randomly, the gas is $2.39. I mean, I'm like, what in the world is going on? That's weird. So whatever, I go to work. It's finally starting to pick up, so I don't have to I don't have to open up mail all day. Was typing all day. Like I said, I just type in people's addresses and account numbers and checks and whatnot. Just simplest job in the entire world. I can't believe I even get paid as much as I do to do it. But on lunch or whatever, I just bought a sandwich out of the vending machine, and I'd never even heard of a sandwich called a Monte Cristo before. It's probably the best looking thing in there because they put so many stupid sausage breakfast sandwiches in there. I don't understand it, but Monte Cristo is like a turkey, ham, and Swiss, and then they put jelly with it. It's like the craziest, weirdest sandwich to me, but I thought I'll try it. And then I started thinking, I guess I rang it up, and I was like, wow, it costs $3.29. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's the 88th day of the year. That's the backwards 9/23. But Monte Cristo in gematria is 52. And of course, we've talked about it tons of times. The 52nd prime is 239. This town also, I forgot. Like it's located on like two highways that cross each other. It's Highway 44 and Highway 59, the kill numbers. So I thought that was just weird. Hopefully that doesn't mean they're gonna kill me, but I doubt it. I just thought that was funny. Um, but anyway, so as I'm sitting there typing, just, bored as can be, whatever, just type it away. I started thinking about all the eights around me that I talked about a long time ago. How we moved into our house on Iowa Avenue, 901 Iowa Avenue, when I was 8 years old on New Year's Day. My name adds up to 88 plus 88. There was a ton of 88s around me. Whatever. That's just kind of strange to me. That's why I'm talking about it. But so there's a lot of 88s, and then one document after I thought of this in my head, an address popped up that was 911 Iowa Avenue. I mean, what are the odds of that? It wasn't even from Iowa. It was from Colorado. I don't want to put the full address on there because, privacy of whoever it was. Richard is his first name. I'll let you know that. But interesting. And then a little bit later, I went to lunch and they had the TV in the break room. And literally, they had it on Sports Center or something. And they were talking about Tom Brady playing the opening day. He's 11-2. That's what his record is. And I thought to myself, you know what, Tom Brady, the Patriots are going to win because they're going to make it the 122. There's no way the Patriots are going to lose tonight. I thought that in my head. Whatever. Didn't really think much about it. And then I went back. I started typing. Whatever. An hour later or something. I started thinking about it again for whatever the apparent reason. Just pops in my head again. Because I was like, I'm trying to figure out some more about that game maybe. And then instantly, like the next document, there was a guy that had the last name of Brady. And his address was Fall Creek Church Road. Almost like the Monetta, Virginia shooter guy. The guy that supposedly died in Falls Church, Virginia. So pretty interesting. Falls Church is also where a bunch of the supposed terrorists on 9/11, they moved in there. They moved to Falls Church for a while they were waiting for the other guys to come in or whatever. I mean, and it was Flight 77 that supposedly hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon on the 77 degrees west. Just ridiculous. So that made me just start wondering about, the 923 is supposed to be kind of like the new 9/11, right? That's what we've pictured it as, kind of. They're foreshadowing it like crazy, like they did 9/11. So then I thought, they're going back to Falls Church and whatnot. So eventually I'll start looking into some more and see how it all connects to 9/11. But like I said, I just don't have time as right now. Then I got a check, the first check of the day, and the only check of the day that was $9.23. Just stands out, because whatever, it's just embedded in my brain. I see it every time I see that number. It's like, what? But I seen this, and I looked at the clock, 4:04. The 44 is connected to it like crazy. You're talking about Obama being assassinated, Obama the 44th president, just tons of stuff with 44. So, whatever. Like I said, I'm just documenting this. It's so strange to me. It's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't see it or get it. But anyway, since my speeding ticket was $168, I thought that was strange because I've been talking about it forever. I was like, 9/10, what is like 168 days before this day? Or after it, whatever. Well, 168 days before this day is 3/26, which just so happens to be the 85th day of the year. I just talked about Biff Tannen, whatever. This is the day that he won his money or whatever, the 85th day of the year in 1958. Even Doc Brown says something about when he's talking to himself, he asks himself for the 5/8 wrench, and then he says, "Don't you mean 3 1/4 or whatever?" And just to prove it to you, here you go. Just wanted to point that out. It's 168 days. I'm actually going to make a video after this that explains it way more in depth. I'll talk about the Queen and also Pope Francis. Man, I mean, I talk about it all the time. So, and since this is the day before September 11th, I even went back and looked at. I know I made a bunch of videos, or maybe not a bunch, but some of them I talked about how there's something significant about the day before these days that they're showing. The day before whatever. Like Pope Francis became the Pope 923 days to 922 of this year. So the day before 923 days. Queen Elizabeth, I can't even remember it all, but I kind of went through here, and I actually noticed that the number 85, I've been noticing a lot more. I just never wrote it down, and I never put it all together, how it all ties in. So anyway, as I'm trying to pull up my old Ramona Quimby video. Cannot find it anywhere. But look how many subscribers I have. 329. What are the odds of that? And earlier when I got on here, when I first got on the computer, I'll just pull it up. I took a screenshot of it. This is when I first got on the computer tonight. Wow, see? It's even my 44th screenshot. Come on. But look what time it was. 9:23. I opened it up. I typed in a few things. I was looking up some stuff about Abraham Lincoln. And then I looked down at the clock. It was 9:23. First time I looked at the clock. Just strange stuff. Anyway, I made this video on 6/8, I believe it was. Or I was referring to the day 6/8 anyway. And I talked about how I made this video, on the video here, about Ramona Quimby. And I made it on the 262nd day of 2014. So it was 9/19 of 2014. And then they didn't I got a copyright strike on March 15th, which was 177 days later. 177th day is 6/26, the day gay marriage was legalized. And then I didn't get a copyright strike again until 6/8 or whatever. That's why I made this video, because I can't figure out why the days are so weird on this video. And so the original day I made this video was the 262nd day of the year, and this is 262 days after that. But I didn't realize the significance of, well, basically in this video, I showed that they were showing me to look to the date of 6/26, because whatever, and then something seriously big happened that day. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, the span of March 15th to June 8th, 85 days. So they literally were showing me this day as well. They were showing me 85 that long ago, and I didn't realize it. In the Moneta shooting, we talked about how, like, Allison Parker was 58, Lester Flanagan, whatever, was 58. A ton of 58. There's been a lot of 58 in the theater shootings. The one guy was originally 58. They changed it to 59. He even drove a Lincoln. His car was a Lincoln. I mean, give me a break. But the 85, they showed me as well as the 6/26 stuff then. So just really interested me. Also, the Moneta shooting, it happened the day before the 239th day of the year. So that's why it's so interesting to me, I guess, because I made this video, and then literally 2 or 3 videos after it, I talked about, well, it's gone now, I don't want to scroll back down, but I talked about the day before, like right after I made that last video. So even the theater shooting that happened on 8/5, the day before, is Obama's birthday. So I don't know. I really feel like there's something to that. And originally, the Pope wasn't coming until 9/23, and now he's coming on 9/22, the day before. So then, of course, today is the day before 9/11 again. And 9/11, always a significant day. But Pope Francis became Pope on this day, and to today, 911 days. I mean, just interesting. I talked about that previously. But also, I went to the 58th day of the year to today, and it's 194 days away. And I thought, what is significant about that? Well, Pope Francis, if you take, this is his, whatever, second anniversary of becoming Pope, was this year, to 923. 194 days. So who knows? Just wanted to share that. I'm going to make another video tonight about Abe Lincoln in Nebraska again. So